To make an origami project properly, you usually need a square piece of paper. You can use any paper that you find around the house that you're allowed to use. A scrap piece of paper, some magazine, a newspaper, or you can even use the painted paper that we made in the first remote learning project I had for you, which was to make some homemade paint on some paper. So you're welcome to use that. You may have noticed that most of the paper you're going to find is in a rectangle shape. And like I said before, we need a square. So I'm going to teach you how to make a square with this rectangle piece of paper. First, make sure your paper is vertical, up and down, and then take the bottom edge of that vertical paper and fold it diagonally so that the bottom edge of the paper matches with that side edge. And when it's really nice and even, I'm going to take my hand and crease the paper. The last step to make your square is to cut or tear off that rectangular piece of paper hanging off from the folded part. So if you have scissors handy, you can cut off that rectangle easily, and voila, you have a perfect square to create your origami crab. If you don't have a pair of scissors that you can use, then you can use the old-fashioned way. You can tear that piece of paper off to make the square. So everything is exactly the same. Vertical piece of paper, fold the bottom side diagonally to match with the side of the paper. But instead of cutting on that line, we're going to fold on that line. Fold the paper back and forth lots of times and use your fingernails even to crease the paper super hard. Once the fold is kind of floppy and very creased many times, it is time to tear the paper. So to do that, you are going to lay the paper flat on the table, place one hand on either side of that fold, start from the top, and pull in opposite directions to tear the paper inch by inch all the way to the bottom. And there you go. Now you have a square ready to make a crab. Just to make sure that you can fully concentrate, I am not going to talk while I make this crab. You can fold right along with the video. You can watch every step and then pause the video so you can catch up, or you can watch the whole thing and then try it by yourself afterwards. So here we go. Have some fun. once your crab is all folded up, you might want to use a marker or a pen or anything you can find to draw 2 little circles right towards the top of the crab's head here. Or add even more decorations, some patterns, an entire picture even on this crab. That'd be interesting. Hope you had fun making this little guy. I sure did. This was my favorite origami project for sure, and I made a ton of crabs, as you can see.